Welcome, dear patients, to the Dice Asylum, a bedlam house of beveling bones, bringing boons and banes to bards and barbarians alike. Do check in with reception, for I believe you may have come down with a case of role repression and Nat 20 neurosis. Our courteous cast of crazies will ensure that your dodecahedrons will be downright demented before dawn. Though the modifiers may be maladjusted, there's always room for a breakthrough. Have a seat, check your restraints, and the doctor will be with you shortly.
Alright. So, Madrix, you are bleeding. There is a bloody wound in your gut as the piece of metal from the side of the ship that was blasted to the side from the impact is sticking out of your side. You can feel blood slipping between your fingertips as you hold it for that moment. You're attacked aboard this ship that you and another Mandalorian, Imric, of your same clan, are aboard. He's older, much older Mandalorian, in his mid to late 50s. But this was just supposed to be a normal security op. You travel to Ord Mantell, and it would be relatively safe, and you could start picking up jobs there. Someone stop that. As the alarm is blaring throughout the ship, the alert that boarders have come aboard this ship. You don't know where Emmerich is, but you also can't really stay here with this piece of metal stuck in. What are you doing?
So I'm gonna look down. Does it seem like this is one of the, oh, I have to pull it out so I can move, or is it more along the lines of, if I pull this out, I'm gonna bleed out faster?
Make me a medicine check. I'm gonna say difficulty 2, so you're gonna be rolling 2 purple dice for it versus your 3 green dice. Alright, so looking down at the wound in that moment, you're going through everything in your head, trying to figure that out, and you don't know. You can't see the angle well enough. Because of where it's landed in you, it's so incredibly hard to really tell what exactly you need to do with it. But at very least, you know one thing is that this thing is slowing you down. If you leave it, you'll be slowed down. And if you get into a fight, you'll have to deal with that fact.
Alright, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna pull it out.
Okay. Wrap your fingers around it tightly and make me an athletics test. Same thing, difficulty 2, 2 purple dice. Okay. So with an advantage, but no overall successes at the end, it's gonna hurt. You're gonna take 2 strain as you rip it out, but you do manage to tear the piece out. And after a few moments of throbbing pain, it faints. Just now throbbing. You can always feel it.
He's gonna let out like a deep ugh, and then start moving to where the invaders are being are they being called about over the comms?
Yeah, there's a blasting set of comms. You'll hear the Mon Calamari call out, "Pirates on the side deck! Port side! Port side!" There's shouts and stuff throughout the ship you can hear, even from this angle, but the commands seem to be telling you that the pirates are primarily on the port side of the ship.
Yeah, and it's gonna rush assuming they're probably trying to take the bridge.
You round the corner and immediately see a pair of corpses. One with a piece of rebar essentially stuck through its stomach and through the wall. The other one in a heap with its neck snapped. Both of them you see with the crest on them. The one on the ground, on his back, you see the crest of Clan Vecthir. And on the shoulder of the other one, it's the same crest. Both men don't look like they were killed with a weapon. It looks more like, oh, Imric got his hands on them with his crush guns.
Madrix just shakes his head as he continues to rush that direction.
And you will round the corner from that point and see the well-equipped, well-trained, tall, and almost regal-looking Mandalorian that is Imric Thrail, leaned against the wall, his Mandalorian iron armor stained red as he's leaned against it, a piece of metal sticking out of his shoulder, and several wounds you can see that he is applying a stim to. He'll turn his head towards you as he hears the heavy footsteps in the hallway. You alive?
Of course.
Good. It's just Youngbloods. Nothing too bad. Youngbloods and pirates. He hikes a finger around the corner behind him, and you can see some blood that's stained the door frame. It looks like he was in a fight in there too. We have to hold this area. The airlock, they're coming through this section.
He gives Imric a nod and he pulls his slug thrower out and gets ready for them to rush this way.
He takes him out, kind of bringing his hand up to the left crush jaw, adjust the bracer. You see what he was doing, using the pressure of where he is against the wall to snap that arm back into place. As if he had it turned away from you, but it was twisted in the other direction. Damn Gamorreans. You'll hear shouts almost immediately after from the airlock as a group of pirates spill out, and behind them, a well-equipped man in laminate with a blaster rifle, carrying the crest of Clan Vecthir. He'll shout out to the pirates, "Bring him down! If you can kill him, you can take the scraps yourself!" And Madrix, you're going to drop right into combat. This is very much a cool test situation, not a vigilance test. So please feel free to roll your initiative off of your cool statistic. Okay, so Madrix, as you take your turn, you will see first spills in this group of assorted pirates in kind of scrap gear, leathers, metal, things like that, all equipped with an assortment of blaster pistols and blaster carbines. One or two of them you spot with a vibro knife as they rush out from the airlock with a shout towards you. Behind them is the kind of like in this brown, thick laminate with a crest on their chest and a blast rifle. Seems to be giving orders to this group of pirates, not unlike the dogs of Clan Vecthir.
Vecthir, you hired some others to do your dirty work, and he just kind of like whips the pistol out and tries to pick him off like right off the bat.
Okay, as one of them like ducks down to move forward, you manage to line up a shot. Go ahead and take that shot. Now, you are, from this distance, you are a little bit away, but not too far away at this point. The distance you're currently at, you are currently just about at medium range from the Youngblood. He's pretty far down the hallway at this point, but it is not all that distant as the red light continues to glare. So you, using a pistol, are going to be at difficulty 3, which would be 3 dice. Yes, you could move up and get closer.
How much movement do I have for free?
You can move pretty much anywhere within short range. So it is up to you how close you want to get with your free maneuver.
I'll go ahead and move up a little bit in front of Emmerich and take my shot.
Okay. Just
Would that put me at DC 2?
Oh, actually, just real quick, my apologies. There was a slight mishap with the range bands. So the distance you're actually from, yeah, it's going to be difficulty 2 baseline. So now you're at difficulty 2, and you have, if you would like, you could have stayed where you wanted it, and you still would have been at difficulty 2. But if you were a little bit closer, you would hit difficulty 1.
Okay. So, like, there.
Yes, absolutely.
Seeing how dire straits Emrich's in, he is going to try to take the brunt of this fight. So he rushes up past him and does like a quick draw, flipping his pistol out and taking a shot at the agent of Hasvethir.
Okay, so you move past, round the corner. That means you cross by the doorway to your right, and just for a brief moment, you see at the corner of your eye, like 6 dead pirates scattered around, and another young blood from Clan Vathir. All looks like they were ripped apart by Imric in that room. But go ahead and give me that shot. Difficulty 1. He does not have any traits of adversary. He is not a particularly skilled foe. This is a young blood, and you are probably about as experienced as him, but you have a lot better training.
Should I have a setback die or no?
Not unless there's anything I'm aware of. No, you should not. You should just be able to use your slug thrower and be fine. Alright, you line up your slug thrower and fire off a shot towards him. With an advantage, you could recover 1 strength, add 1 blue die, a boost die, to an ally character's next check. You could notice a single important point in the ongoing conflict, such as the location of a blaster or control panel, or a weak point on an attack speeder. Or you can activate a weapon quality that has an advantage cost of 1. In this instance, the only real 2 options that there is in this hallway is either recovering strain or giving a boost die to him on his next roll.
Yeah, I'll give him a boost die on his next roll.
Okay. So you line up that slug thrower shot, you put a hole in the shoulder plate of the Clan Vathir Youngblood, making him recoil for a second, and the pirates will quickly reply. At this distance, they're going to be a little bit too close range for blaster carbines to be fairly effective, so they're going to be using blaster pistols. But they will fire off a couple of shots towards you as a barrage of blasts kind of rail down the hallway towards you for a total of 9 damage against your 5 soak. You're going to take 4 wounds, as one of the blasts managed to catch just the side of the laminate and scorch it, but most of it you are able to avoid the brunt of the attack.
He's gonna try to not show like that it hurt too much, even though that's a pretty hefty blow.
And following behind the pirates as the Voyaging Pirates kind of scatter in the hallway, kind of diving into little pieces of cover to either side, the Clan Vathir Youngblood will lean against the wall, and seeing weakness down the hallway, he's going to try and fire over your shoulder at Imric. However, Imric is an adversary, or does have the adversary talent, so he will upgrade their difficulty once, as they will fire off a shot down the hall. That is the total of 4 successes. That is a nasty hit. Only saved by his Beskar. The shot flies down the hallway towards Imric, and the bolt tears through into his armor, sending him sprawling to the ground to a knee. Imric kind of grunts at that point, barely able to keep moving as the adjusted piece on his armor, and pulls himself a little bit forward. He clambers over to the side of the cover next to you, the wound kind of scorched in viciously, and he will hold out one hand, and the flame projector in his wrist will unleash a gout of flame towards the group of Voidfang pirates. Flames fly past you. You can feel the heat on your side before a gout of flame sends most of the pirates screaming to the ground. You watch very quickly as about half of that group is wiped out, in a single gout of his flames. Madrix. Emmerich is even worse off now than he was moments ago, but he is barely clinging on to life at this point. But the pirates are also scorched and wounded as a whole.
I'm gonna try to capitalize on the fact that they're all, like, trying to deal with the fact that they just got fired, and I'm just gonna try to pop a few shots into them.
Same difficulty as before? Alright, lining up a shot into them, you set the slug thrower back, fire off 2 shots as you keep them in line, and as the second shot connects with one, dropping to the ground, they begin to scatter, fleeing back down the hallway and quickly trying to get back aboard their own ship. Their Mandalorian employer looks over to them. Cowards! And he'll move into the little hallway as they're trying to get the air control set so that they can disembark. He's going to peek around the corner and fire off a shot at you this time. You are in close quarters. He lines up the shot, leans around, and as he pulls the trigger, you hear a hiss. Oh, damn it. Ah, blast! And you see him eject the heat sink from the blaster rifle. Emmerich, as that happens, kind of crawls back a step and falls to the ground, falling on his hands and elbows, gasping for air. Alright. Madrix.
Take my stim pack off my belt and toss it to him.
Alright, Emmerich will catch it. I will, I'll let you move with that. It's more, less of a toss and more of it's less of a hand and more of a toss. You have to move up, but you can absolutely do both those things. But if you want to maneuver and do that, you're going to have to take a strain for your, essentially an extra maneuver as part of that.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take another strain and to pop another shot off at him.
Okay.
And he was at 1 difficulty as well.
Yep. This time, as you turn him around the corner and go to line up the shot, just as you have it trained on him, you'll see him slam his hand down on the airlock and pull himself through. That miss is the bullet slams against the side of the airlock door, separating the two of you before you can really get the shot in line. You hear the hiss of the airlock behind him as they begin fleeing back onto their own ship. And that will end combat as they flee, leaving it just you and Emmerich in the hallway. Emmerich will reach his hand up, kind of pull his helmet to the side, and stick himself in the neck with the stim. Blast. You got some hellish timing, kid.
Would have been worse if I was later.
I know. Blast, I can't move. And he adjusts at his leg at that point. Help me up. There's a Kolto tank.
Yeah, he's gonna get under one of his shoulders and lift him up.
Wasn't hoping I'd die, were you? Peel my metal right off.
Would have went back to your family.
You're a good kid, Madrix. Damn fine Mandalorian. You hear the alarms finally turn off at that point as the last of the pirates have been pushed off the ship. You, with a bit of a limp just from the injury you've already taken, but also the fact you're carrying a man pretty hefty man with a bunch of wounds on him. You both are slowing you down, but it is not long until you can pull him into the medical bay and get him handed off to one of the medical droids. Another medical droid will very quickly start trying to get their hands on you to drag you into a chair at least, so they can look you over. Do you allow them to, or is Madrix trying to do something else?
Yeah, he's not gonna let it pull him down yet. He is gonna try to contact the bridge and just go, "Where's support needed?"
There's a bit of static for a moment, and then you'll hear the man come over. Oh, thank the spirits you're alive. We didn't think that anyone survived on that side of the ship. To be honest, right now we're just going to limp into port. We took a nasty hit there, hoping we'll find some repairs in the port, but About an hour out. How's the old man doing?
Not great, but he'll pull through.
That's good. That's good. Good. For the moment, it seems we pushed off the invaders. If that changes, you'll be the first to know.
Alright. Then he'll sit down and let the medical droid look him over.
Medical droid begins doing so, but as it's doing that, you see some of the droids are trying to get him into the actual Kolpo tank, and after a few months, he'll kind of push them off. Just me with a few Kolto stems, let it heal for a little bit. I'm not taking off my armor. Sir, it's important. You've taken several horrible injuries. No, I'm not taking a Kolto bath. I just needed Kolto stems. Come on, if you must, sir. The droids will kind of step away and begin applying some normal medical treatment that will not require him to strip out of his armor. Once he's been hit with a few, he'll look up finally while you're being checked over. You know what this means, don't you, lad?
No, what's it mean? We're gonna face even more of them?
Means that I'm not going to be able to meet with our contact. Means you're going to be the one picking up the job. I know you were supposed to... I'm too injured right now to go tramping about the galaxy with this whole gig. Depending on what our contact is offering, I suppose it's not a bad thing you go into the field without me. You more than prove yourself, both with your trial and today.
He kind of pushes the medical droid off him and walks over, puts a hand on his shoulder. I'll do you proud.
Better. He kind of squeezes a crush gun towards you. Or I won't let you walk afterwards. The contact you're going to meet. His name's Zoran. He's, well, let's just be honest, he's a crime boss. But I think he might be, he might have some good work for you. Supposedly, he's Republic aligned. And involved in some business with some diplomat. A retired soldier, I think. He's looking for security detail. But more importantly, I think if you talk to him, you might be able to track down some of the Sons of Gundarks who hit us. Those pirates, they're from the Void Fangs. I don't know how familiar you are with them, but the Void Fangs are a pretty infamous group of pirates in the area. Here and several. Damn droid! Pushes his head against him. Enough! Sir, please. I said enough. I can't talk while you're sticking needles in me. Of course, Master. The droid steps away. As I was saying, lad, the Void Fangs are causing trouble in the area, and according to our friends in Republic Intelligence, might have some connection to a man who was seen in old Imperial space. A Chiss, if you'll believe it. You ever seen a Chiss before, lad?
No, but they're blue, red eyes, right?
Yeah, nocturnal or something. They see in the dark. They used to do a lot of work for the Sith Empire 600 or so years ago. Liked intelligence and command. I think most of them have gone back to their little corner of the galaxy, but the few that remain, always worth being suspicious of. They've got a natural affinity for tactics and strategy. And if the Void Fangs have them on their side, they'll cause more trouble. You'll need the creds. You take any jobs you can get, whether it's taking down smugglers, pirates, gangsters, murderers. You hear me? You keep yourself afloat, lad.
Understood.
You're a good kid. Just be careful. You see, you passes out at that point, slumping against the table, and very quickly the two medical droids rush over. If you'll please, Master, he can be angry at us later, but I believe he does need the Kolto bath.
Understood. Make sure it's covered.
Of course. They'll begin putting a tarp over the Kolto as they begin helping him out of his armor. And that leaves you to, take command. This is a big deal. You know this is a big deal. As a younger Mandalorian, it's kind of important normally that you not so much train, but you spend time working alongside older, experienced Mandalorians, right? So that you're not just going to be put in the meat grinder right away. You're still an independent contractor. It's not like you are only just doing that, but important Mandalorian culture, that until you have a good number of jobs that you've done under your belt, that you have some guidance. And now, with your guidance wounded, there's a lot more stress on your shoulders.
He's gonna take his like, you know how they have the wrist thing that has all their information and all the like contacts on it?
Yes.
I'm gonna connect mine to his so I can pull the information for this job.
Absolutely.
And the contacts for this job, like specifically.
Yeah, it'll give you some contact info on some of the people involved. It'll also give you some major bounties that you may want to write down, Vay. Yeah, why don't you take a moment? I'm gonna give you a few important bounties that you can write down as possible extra credits you can make. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
There's a man called Captain Okar Reddisk. He is a captain for the Void Fangs, one of their many Empire captains, and he's got a bounty sitting on his head for about 4,000 credits. Then there is a smuggler called Caburn Vant. He is known for being exceptionally lucky and cheating at cards, and has a bounty on his head for about 2,000 credits. There is a bounty hunter who screwed over his Hutt contact called Corgan. He's a big Gamorrean, and he's got a bounty on his head for 6,000 credits. And then finally, there is a assassin droid known as the Nines that murdered a Republic representative on Ord Mantell who worked directly for the senator, and he's got a bounty on his head for about 14,000 credits. But there's a bit of a rule on it. You need to return his memory core undamaged. Otherwise, you don't get squat.
Some of those are probably spelled wrong.
That's okay. You don't have to worry about spelling. It's just about getting the idea down. From there, you get that. Now, we already talked about it a little bit. The crime lord, he said, called Zoran Gorath. He's a crime boss who operates on Ord Mantell, but generally is considered to be Republic aligned. He is the kind of crime boss who, like, a Republic representative would go to for information, right? And they, like, bribe the right people and put the right money in the right hands and support the Republic in a way that keeps him in power, but also genuinely does, like, help better some people's lives. He is looking for people to protect a man called Alaric Dornells, who is a retired Republic soldier, or specifically a retired Republic officer, who ran afoul of some Republic, let's say, bigwigs, and he was stripped of his station and became more of a political activist in recent years. There was recently an assassination attempt laid out on him, and his old friend Zoran, who used to be a soldier alongside him, wanted to put some money in less savory hands to get his friend some extra protection. That's where you come. Do you want to meet with anyone else on the ship, or are you just kind of waiting to disembark?
He's gonna see if there's any of these, like, any of the holes that can be patched up, like, pretty easily and cleaned up, like, the interior things, like, being locked off.
Yeah, why don't you make me just a difficulty 1 mechanics roll. See what, like, cleaning up and patching holes you can do to help with these ship. Okay, with a final total of 2 successes, you will, working pretty hard over the course of the next hour, make some progress on actually patching some holes in the hull and doing your best to get the ship back in moving state. Now, at the end of that hour, the ship will begin to make its approach. And from one of the many windows, you can see the city of Ornamental down below. Ornamental City, more accurately. A massive metropolis. It is a beautiful sight to behold. Even at night, where it is much darker, the lights of the city illuminate the area around it. It is a stunning sight to behold.
He's gonna let out, like, one of those long whistles as they fly over it.
As you do so, you will hear a few heavier footsteps from down the hallway, and you'll see this large Wookiee clad in a metal breastplate that'll give you a nod. Just a low grumble as it moves past towards the hangar bay.
I'll return the nod. Just kind of, keeping it casual.
Yeah, absolutely. The Wookiee doesn't get very far before you hear like a whizzing sound as a small astromech about the size of like your head comes whizzing around the corner, slams into the wall and bounces off of it, and like spins in place for a moment, and then goes whizzing after the Wookiee. After a few more moments, it's back to being quiet. You know there's plenty of mercenaries and bounty hunters aboard this ship. You're not the only ones. But as the ship comes in for its final approach, you're able to head down to the landing area to get ready to disembark when it does so. And land it does. Comfortably and safely in the port. Ramps will lower, and the men and women who were being transported aboard the ship will begin disembarking, with you, Madrix, among them. It's been an hour since that fight, and while you kind of had a moment to rest to some degree, because you were working and making sure things were fixed, you haven't had too much time to heal. You're only going to get some of your wounds and strain back. But, that being said, as you are able to make your way down, where is your focus? Where do you want to try and set up this meeting location? Or do you want to leave it in the hands of this contact?
I'll leave it in his hands and just go ahead and shoot him a message. The message basically says, "This is Madrix of House Thrill. I'm going to be your contact. From the house, where would you like to set up our initial meeting?"
You get a message back. Madrix? I thought Emmerich was coming. What happened?
Emmerich had to take care of some personal business.
Never heard of you, but we'll work it out. See if you're worth your stuff. Alright. There's a local club. It's the talk of the town, we say. It's the Skinned Wookiee. You want to go down there on the south side of town, and I'll meet you in the alleyway on the east side of the building.
Understood.
See you soon, then. And, yeah. Do you want to take any precautions, or take any time ahead of the meeting? Or are you just heading straight there?
No, I'm gonna head straight there.
Okay. It takes you about, I'd say 20 minutes from the port to head down to that side of the city. And once you finally arrive, the first thing you will spot in the alleyway is a pair of armed Trandoshans, large lizard men with heavy spines down their back. One of them armed with this huge vibro axe. The other one armed with what you recognize as a Wookiee bowcaster. And just past them, you see a large, broad-shouldered, slightly pudgy human man in a nice white suit with a inner red shirt to it, several cybernetics over one of his eyes, on his jaw, and a kind of like a messy haircut, some earrings in, several scars in his face and ear. This is a rough and tumble man, and a large cigar in his mouth. He'll look up from his position against the wall. I'm gonna size you up with the cybernetic eye and his normal eye. You're not a young blood, are you?
Blooded.
Wonderful. You'll have to do. We'll see if you're worth the credits I'm paying. Fine. So, House Thrail and I have had some history in the past. Clan Thrail. My apologies. I get the words mixed up sometimes. Either way, you are the one they said. You look tough enough. Your armor has some burns on it. That recent?
Burns are from a bit ago. This one's new. He points to the to where he took the shot from the blaster rifle.
Size you up and down. The hell with it. So, old friend of mine, Alaric. He's in a bad way. There's a senator who wants his head. From what I've heard, at the very least. His name's Senator Ichihara. Now, don't have any proof on this, obviously. This is not the sort of thing that you can really prove without a deeper investigation, but they've been enemies for years. He's the one who kicked him out of the Force. And enough eyes are thinking it. Enough mind. Whatever. Either way. This is a long-term contract. I'm willing to pay your house for services rendered. More notably, I'm going to make sure that you'll have the opportunity to have, let's say, resupplies. While you're out on this, I'm going to make sure you're supplied over the extended time you're out there. You get all your payment at the end, but essentially, what the intent is, the longer you're working, the more arms I'll make sure land in your lap, huh? We'll keep in contact. As long as you continue doing good work and keep Alaric alive, we can up the fee, get you better gear, what I can afford. And I can afford a lot. Then, once the contract's closed, I will be forwarding to Clan Thrail 150,000 credits.
Gives me enough. Understood.
This could take a long time. You understand that, right?
Of course.
But you're also welcome to take whatever other jobs while you're out on the field and doing that and keeping him safe. Whatever you need to do to keep yourself and him afloat. Not going to restrict you, it's just paramount that he is alive at the end of all this. When all the situation is dealt with and he is safe, or at very least we've closed the case on this, have your money, and we'll end the deal from there. Now, problem is, there's let's say a hitch that recently developed. From what I know, Alaric has good friends in Republic intelligence. One of those friends pushed some hands and and you're going to have to deal with traveling with a Jedi. Padawan, specifically. If you have any moral issues with that, Mandalorian, suck it up. Any questions?
No, sir.
Alright. Tell Alaric he owes me for this. Bastard. Alright, kid. What do you have on you right now?
Got a slug through pistol, fiber knife.
He looks to one of the men near him. The one of the Ocean. You. Give him your blaster pistol. Wait. Just give him your damn blaster pistol. Do him something. He's probably gonna end up in a firefight by the end of the night. So, the Trandoshan will kind of sigh at that point. And will pull out a heavy blaster pistol from their side and hold it out to you. Yeah.
He takes it, does like the quick check over.
Yeah, it seems to be in good enough state. It's a DL model, so it's a nice heavy blaster pistol, mostly illegal in a lot of systems, but, you know, you're Mandalorian.
He'll strap it on his hip next to the slug thrower.
Alright. I trust you with this, kid. It's... Would have preferred a more experienced Mandalorian, but hey, who knows? Maybe you'll do good work. Maybe my worries are for naught. No offense to you, real intended, but, well, most Mandalorians I hire for things for this have, well, done well in a great hunt.
I understand.
But, worth actually bringing up, you do this good work for me, and keep Alaric alive at least a year. I have a contact who will need a sponsorship of the upcoming Great Hunt. Prove your mettle, kid. You'll have that spot. Deal?
Deal.
Seems like a good enough kid. Good luck. You'll need to meet him out at the Silver Savior. It's a few blocks from here.
Gives him a nod.
Alright.
I'll make sure the man's alive.
Good to hear. He hikes a thumb over at the Trandoshan to begin to head down the hallway with him. Or the, not hallway, the alleyway. Dear Lord. And yeah, that leaves you alone in that alley. Looking over your new heavy blaster pistol, there's a noticeable downside to it. There's no stun setting.
That's fine.
You know. It's just worth pointing out.
If they wanted to get stunned, they shouldn't have attacked me.
Oh, Mandalorians. Alright. Do you want to head right to that cantina, or do you want to take a roundabout route and see if you can get any information on the way there?
You know what? He said the bar or the club was pretty popular. I'll pop in and see if they know anything about any of the bounties.
Yeah, why don't you, as you make your way in, make me Streetwise. Make me a difficulty 2 Streetwise check.
Has to be on the sheet somewhere.
Yeah, it's right below stealth.
Oh, there it is.
Absolutely. So, you start digging around in the club, and you will actually overhear something a little interesting about one of these things, but also, more importantly, another bounty. Corgan was seen recently with another group of Gamorreans roughing up some settlers north of the city, basically getting settled in, and it looks like he might be trying to make a name for himself as some kind of, like, local gang boss. But, additionally, you find another bounty posting. A Joba the Hutt put a bounty out for a Claudite that was seen in the sector. That Claudite, one second, just making sure I get the name, is called Sig. S-I-G-G. And that Claudite has a bounty on them because that Claudite used to work for that hut before stealing their favorite slave and kidnapping them, abducting them, and running off with them out to the Republic space. They want Sig for 8,000 credits, and they want the slave returned unharmed for another 2,000.
You said he was 6K and the slave was 2K?
He's 8K.
Oh.
The slave is called Nala. She's a tweetnik. Alrighty. Got that written down for yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. So, from there, you can head out and begin towards the Silver Savior Cantina, where you're supposed to meet with this contact, or your target, I suppose. However, as you are doing so, making your way out the back door of the club and out onto the street, roll me perception, difficulty 1. Ooh, with a success and a triumph. So they don't even get past you. Just as you're making your way out, a kid will bump into you, and you realize very quickly they reach to try and grab the slug thrower pistol off your hip to try and sneak off with it.
I just grab the hilt of the pistol and I squat down and look at the kid.
They immediately freeze.
Can I help you?
The little Rhodian just stares at you for a few moments. Don't speak basic? Okay. The kid, after like that kind of horrifying silence. Sorry?
What do you need it for?
Credits?
We all need credits. He kind of like waves the kid off. He'll start walking towards the cantina.
The kid scrambles away. And as you round the corner, drawing close to the cantina towards the Silver Savior, it's a nice night. The light around you, the beautiful sounds of people enjoying themselves. It's big cities. They have their drawbacks, but there's something so engaging about them. It's like being in a different world. And as you are making your way through and closer to the cantina itself, you will see people dancing on the corner, people whispering in hushed voices and watching you pass, pointing you out. But all that said, you will reach the front doors of the cantina and can push them open to stride your way in as the lights illuminate your face. People are drinking and enjoying themselves. You make your way over the threshold. You see a little droid kind of moving around behind what looks like some kind of like spider alien thing, and a Deveronian at the counter. And as you take in the sight, you see the little sign hanging saying East Wing over the door. And looking at the little bit of information you have from the link from your good friend or clanmate Imric, that's where you're supposed to meet this Allard Dornels. And then, right across the cantina from you, sitting at the bar, just within sight, you see the man, Tabern Vant, getting a drink from the bartender.
I don't see the contact, right?
You don't see him yet, but he might be in that meeting room.
Wait a second. Pull up this one.
Absolutely. You pull it out carefully. Your eyes on your target.
And I'm gonna try to like slide around his backside so he's not gonna see this coming.
Yeah, you start to slide around him to get up behind him. Just as you're pretty close to him at that point, that's what we're going to call the session. Because that will be your first action in session 1.